can just imagine how happy they would be to cut off a finger. They'd be like, oh, sure. However, I'm saying they make short work of popsicle sticks. Since it's back to school time, rulers are cheap. I know, but I actually also have lots of other rulers. But oh, I forgot those were on there. I love you. Thank you. I turned on the toaster oven to do noses, and I forgot that I'd also been hoarding dirty, not hoarding, gently piling dirty dishes on top of there, despite the fact that they were clearly within view when I turned on the toaster oven. I forgot that they existed. And so Mr. Dirty Blood, luckily, is the responsible one, and he came in like holding them with a hot pad, and he was like, these are boiling hot. And I was like, oh, that's right. He's like, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not so sure about doing French on all four sides now, but we already did it, so whatever. Oh, right. Well, and seriously, he is the building safety officer. What's funny is at work, I'd be the first one who would be like, no, why are we even putting dirty dishes on top of a heat source? No. And I would get like a labeled bin and write dirty dishes on it and like laminate the sign and like put a cute little thing of like a waving dish on it so people would use it. But at home, I'm like, don't worry about it. Actually, I don't say don't worry about it. I just go, thank you. Okay. I've been listening to Chapel Roan, so now Spotify thinks I really must also want to listen to Post Malone for some reason. It's like, I'm sorry, are you basing my music on like just what sounds like your Chapel Roan? Did you say Post Malone? I'm like, no, I don't know. Stop. And so I was listening just now. I was playing part of what I learned was a Post Malone song, and apparently he is singing country music now. I thought he was a rapper or something. Okay, I'm gonna have to find something with a little contrast. You guys, there we go. So look, there's a little cute fringe around our whole rug now. Post Malone, like Post cereals. Right? Isn't that, yeah, Post cereals. I know he's a singer, but it's funny. But right? It does sound like, because Post could totally be like the new trendy grain. It's like quinoa. They're like Post Malone. You're like, oh god. Okay. I'm really digging the little fringe on our little rug. Look at our little fringy rug. Can you see that it's fringy? Okay. Those are fine. We just want any outliers that extend beyond the edge of the rug. Oh, it's the rest of it. I knew he was a singer, but it's funny. I agree. Oh, that is such a cute little. See, I feel like it needs something else. Help with. box of plastic dollhouse furniture. We're not going to go through all of it because not all of it is that interesting. But here's some cute stuff. Look at the little bathroom. I want a little potty. And this is for those Fisher Price people with, you know, like the small, like, so they can sit. Too big. And also, look at this awesome vintage. Here's. It's a little chair cushion. The chair is in here somewhere. Jimin? I don't even know. I'm so old. Sorry, it's probably horribly, atrociously loud. That would need, right? That's very loud. That would need a paint job. Hang on. Ooh. I think this is, yep. That's going to go off. Hang on, we're going to mute this for just a second. Hold, please. Ding! Nose is done. Okay. First I thought I said Dino Nose, and I was like, who's Dino Nose? Okay. These are the only two pieces I found, and those don't go together. I think this is actually a piano bench. I don't know. Am I being too fussy? Is it just fine with just... It's going to have that. And they're not going to be glued. And it's just going to be a little rug with a little chair and a little gnome. But I can hear it from the other room. It is such... Like the loud, clattery plastic toys from that era. It is such a distinctive noise that I was stirring them. Sorry. I don't know. Okay, we're going to stop worrying about it, and we're going to instead find a piece of balsa wood. Hopefully, it's what? Nope. Not wide enough. So... The other thing I was thinking is we're going to see if we can find just a piece of square, not, it doesn't have to be square, we'll cut it, but just a piece of plastic, like clear plastic, and put it under everything but the fringe, and then just glue it on there. So, we're going to see, we're going to look at the miniatures box. Oh, look. And there we go. And again, of course, this is my very highly official miniature supplies. I think this was part of a marker box, maybe. A little bit too small right there. So we're just going to... gosh, French and toasters. The other scissors are elsewhere. That's okay. Because we're just going to start by cutting off these edges that we don't want. Okay. We want to make sure there's no roundy edge on the piece that we're using, because we really do not want an edge that curls up on our little rug. And see, yes, it does it kind of weird. Not weird, but like, you know, weird. That I like hoard weird garbage like marker cases and like marker boxes and stuff. Yes, but only to the extent that I don't use it. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was like in the street, like picking up like bottle caps, being like, I want to make this into a hat someday. Yeah, that's no. But like I actually regularly go into the box and be like, oh, here's the perfect thing. And so, because this is clear, we can just take this, line it up, grab the closest marker / pen that we think will come off. And this is, in case you're curious, you're looking for your very own kind of white pens, because I know that everyone has a favorite white pen. This is a Uniball Signo. And I love it. It's nice, little neat white lines, and they wipe off of stuff pretty easily. Seems I've been using water bottle caps till I get a new palette. Seriously, I am so with you. Like, yeah. I've got like those little 6-spot paint palette things you can get from the dollar store. And see, if you're using water bottle cap, I'm much more likely to have like a paper plate. And that's if I'm painting. But if I'm doing rocks, I'm not painting. I'm using Poscas. And I've just got a bunch of Poscas sitting next to me. Ooh, that's a good one. Rustic says butter lid. Smart. Takeout lid. Oh, the paper plates my mom gets stuck up the paint. Boo. That sucks. And it's like, well, you could get one and then wrap it in plastic and do this. And it's like, no. By the time I do that, thanks. I'll just use a bottle cap. I'm good. But yeah, butter lid or lid of any takeout anything. Like deli containers from Safeway. Oh yeah, plastic. You can use parchment. Parchment is actually paper because wax paper is wax. Wax is soluble to lots of things and can mix in with crap and then also makes your shit waxy. Parchment paper is paper with like a super thin layer of silicone on it. Or maybe it's not, I don't know what it is. But it's not flammable. It's not water permeable. And you can get like rolls of it for not that much. Sheets of it pre-cut at the dollar store in a box that you just go whoop and out pops a little sheet that's like this big. And you can use it and then throw it away. Sorry, like cheap ass crafters or the world unite. We're like, but then you can take a lid from a to-go cup from the convenience store. That is something I would do. Yeah, also it's not a, like, if you're above the age of 30 to 35-ish, it is not your imagination that saran wrap used to work better. Like, when you'd go to, like, put it on a plate. Okay, which of these sides do we like better? One or two? This one has more white on it. This one has less. But, like, when we were younger, plastic wrap, like, when you'd go to, like, stick it on the edge of something, like, it would, like, grab the edge of a Corelle plate and stick on there, and you'd be like, all right, and it would stretch nice and tight, and it would stick. Yeah, they found out that that kind of plastic is not good for you. And so they switched to the plastic wrap we have now, which is, like, thinner and crappier and wads up into giant sticky staticky balls and sticks to everything but plates. So, but yeah, that's a real thing. I like that side better. So, we're going to put the scissors on this, and that's reminding us that this is the glue side. And so what we're going to do now is we're just going to get our bear glue and put a nice thin layer of bear glue, and then we're going to smear it out with a poker dooley, like a silicone poker dooley, because we don't want, like, big ribbons of glue poking through. We want a nice, thin, even layer. And we're using this instead of a paintbrush, so then the glue on this will just dry and I can peel it off later, as opposed to having to wash out a paintbrush. But jar lids from spaghetti sauce or other jar, that's a good one too. Oopsie meetsies. Get away from there. And so we're just encouraging this glue to be nice and even, no globs that are going to glob through and make big wet looking lines or shiny glue lines. Alright, we got our nice thin glue layer. Hang on, we're going to put the pin back in our glue really quick. And now we're going to take our gluey piece of plastic want to look from the front and make sure we're not pulling the lines out of pattern. There we go. And now, because we want to encourage it to all go together, we're just ever so gently using our nice smooth acrylic rolling pin. See? And now we've got a nice flat little rug. This can be the base for gnome number 1. And so again, we don't have colors yet, but there's number 1 gnome. And so what are we thinking? Do we want to make all of the rugs first? Do we want to make all of their bases first? because I think that one is kind of a little big. That one we were going based on the pattern that we already had, like the existing pattern of the fabric. And so with this one, it could be like that big instead. And do we like the frayed look on the edges? Do we want to do the same with this one? Because it looks like if we... And see, this one is not nearly as willing. It's like, no, I'm busy. I don't want to fray. See, remember the other one? Like, we just grabbed it and it was like, wee! This one, ooh, this one's got a finished edge right here is why. That's at least part of it. I do like the little rug. I do like that. I gotta say, I didn't realize how much I liked it until I saw it. Because on this one, if we do it this way, the fringe is going to be black. And we can do the fringe on two sides only. And I think that would be really cute. See, now if we keep this up, I am going to need to buy a rotary cutter. I think they have them at the store Day Delore. Right? Probably. I can always just buy it, you know, a super cheap one, and then if I love it, I'll get a better one. That's one of my favorite things about, like, Harbor Freight and the dollar store and stuff, is, like, if you want to try out a new product, new hobby, new what have yous, you can just go and get started for real fucking cheap. And then the agreement basically is that you're not going to be mad if the thing breaks in 6 months. Like, you know, like if you take care of stuff, it'll last, you know, a decent amount of time. But, like, you know what I mean? It's just the way to try out hobbies. Okay, that could, like, look how fucking uneven that is. That looks ridiculous. So, let's use our entire brain here. Line this up on a corner. Oop. See, here's one of our many other rulers. A Hello Kitty ruler, where all the stuff is printed on the back, so you can barely read the measurements through the decorated front of the ruler. Again, I only have the most useful and high-tech stuff around here. Okay, this bottom is going to be our straight line. Our defining line, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to take our trusty white pen and, what is this, try out? I'm usually knee deep before I realize I don't enjoy said hobby. Well, that's what I call trying out. Like, if I try out, I just, like, well, you have to get all the stuff before you can figure it out. But just before we buy the good quality stuff. Anything up to that is a tryout. You know what I mean? And also, as Rustic well knows, one of the many advantages to having like a million freaking hobbies is that if you're a smart shopper, you can buy stuff that's usable for more than one of your million hobbies. So you're like, well, even if I don't end up getting super into, you know, like macrame plant hangers, I can still use this rope for my, you know, shibari knot class. Again, we're using our white pen to do this. And they do make recipes. I love using one hobby to make stuff for another hobby, right? Exactly. Seriously, hobbies beget hobbies. And so now for this one, we're going to trim off just this very, 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 like, first ½ inch of where this seam is bonded, because we're going to make fringe up to that point. And so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're not doing it all the way across because why? Why would we do that? It's already been sealed. It doesn't want to fray. So let's leave that to do its thing. And we're just going to cut off that little glue. It's not probably not even glue, because this is polyester. I'm sure it's just a little heat bond where they just melted it. We definitely need to put some fray check on there because it already wants to come apart. See, and I think this one is going to give a nice contrast because of the way this is made. So one of the threads going, one way is the warp and the other way is the weft. And do I claim to know anything about it? How it all surely works? Definitely fucking not. But I can tell you that the reason that the fringe looks so nice on this one is because the warp and the weft are different colors. On this one, because it's so many different colors going together, each string is just a continuation of its own string, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we look at this, all of the colors are going this way, and the ones going this way are black. So that gives it a much truer fringe look. Oh, nice. Honestly, if we're going to make more rugs, I think we might do them out of this fabric. Perhaps even solely based on the fact that the fringes look so stinking cute. Ah, a little rug. But yeah, once you end up with like a certain number of craft supplies, as you reach like craft supply critical mass, not critical mass, but like enough to where the investment to get into a new hobby is not nearly as much as it would be because you already have so many of the pieces. It's like, oh, well, I've already got one of these, at those, precision screwdrivers, and a wood burner, so I guess, you know, one more thing, whatever. It's a rug. But look how cute it is with this little fringe. Oh, rug fringe. Okay. Somewhere around here, I recently saw the little tiny garbage can. I need to find it again for all of this sewing detritus. Not even sewing detritus. We haven't sewed a damn thing. Fabric detritus. Oh my god. So, unrelated to anything. I don't know how many of y'all watch Tiger King, but I definitely fucking did. Unraveling. It's like Ravelry, only Unravelry. It's like, no. But I watched Tiger King. As it says, makes me want to listen to the Undone Sweater song. Yes! Here you want to destroy my sweater. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold this thread as I walk away. Of course, Undone. The sweater song by Weezer. But yeah, I don't know if you guys watched Tiger King back at like the freaking beginning of the pandemic. So now the new thing from the people or the producers or whoever who did Tiger King, you did not? Oh my god. Sam, you would love it. And I say that like because I clearly loved it. It is deliciously trashy and redonkulous. Like, it's just like... yeah. Since I tried... No, oh! If that's not your jam, I 1,000,000,000% get that. I get that. I trust you. I trust you, and you know what is right for you, baby. So, now, the new one is Chimp Crazy.